PFT OT Thursday edition, not Wednesday, but Thursday edition as we signed off on PFT Live. I said, see everybody Thursday. Have a great Wednesday.
Be accountable. You did it. That was you that threw that interception. I had nothing to do with it.
It's your fault because you were acting like Tuesday was Monday, and I'm not used to you working on Friday, and I know you're working tomorrow, and since you don't work on Friday, it has to be Thursday, so it's your fault.
All right,
I blame Memorial Day.
I'll make it easy. I won't come to work tomorrow, okay? I won't come.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, good, fine. Deal, sold. Shake on it. Yep. See you on Monday.
I don't have anybody to host with me tomorrow. What am I supposed to do?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you just talk out loud like you do the first hour of every day.
Well, that's true. I don't
know how you do it. I give you a lot of credit, man. I would get very nervous if I had to do a 2-hour or 3-hour show by myself, or even 1 hour. So I'm just having fun with you.
Well, that's fine. It's different doing it on radio than doing it on TV. When you throw in the element of that unblinking eye that is always right there, and I think back to the first time I ever did TV, I was on NFL Network, and they did a live-to-tape segment, which means it's not going out live. It's like this. It's live-to-tape where we act like it's live, we talk about it, and then it gets shown at some point later. And they said, whatever you do, keep looking at the camera. So, of course, knowing that I had to keep looking at the camera, it made my eye constantly stray to everything that was behind the camera because I had to keep looking at the camera. It really freaked me out. But without a camera to worry about, it's just talking. I do the PFT PM podcast by myself every day, and I'll go for an hour, hour and a half. Time flies by. You just talk. So anyway, that's not one of our topics for today's PFTOT, but it is Chris Simms' fault that I screwed up. It's never my fault. It is. I did screw it up. The thing is, I didn't even realize it. I was oblivious. Hey, we'll see you on Thursday. Have a great Wednesday. And I was like, yeah, man, I landed the plane. It was a great. And then Stat says, it's Thursday. It's like, shut up. It's not Thursday. It's Wednesday. Oh, wait, it is Thursday.
Yes. Good job.
Shoot. All right. Topic number one, Aaron Jones, the lead running back for the Green Bay Packers. And there's been some concern that maybe the Packers haven't done enough over the years to upgrade that position. There have been some great running backs available. The Packers haven't gone that route. But Jones feeling very good about how he fits into the Green Bay Packers' new offense under offensive coordinator Matt LaFleur, the outside zone running. They've done it some in previous years. That's what we're running. I feel good in this scheme. It's a lot of things I've seen before. It's nothing new to me. We take a look on film and see how it's worked in other systems, so it gets me very excited. Do you have high hopes for Aaron Jones as the lead tailback for the Green Bay Packers?
I do. Again, I don't know if I look at Aaron Jones and go, oh, he's going to be one of the 5 best running backs in football, but I think he's a starting NFL running back. Yes, he proved that to me last year, and he's got to be excited. I mean, this is probably the first, I know it's not his first offseason, but it's the first offseason in a while, in Green Bay at least, where the run game is going to be talked about probably on just as a highly of importance level as the pass game. Again, Matt LaFleur coming from, the Tennessee Titans. We know they like to run the football there, but he's from the Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay school of coaching too. And of course they believe in the run game. The Shanahans are famous for it. McVay, what were the Rams? The 3rd ranked rushing offense in football last year. They were certainly in the top 5. So he's got to be excited about what he's seeing and the little wrinkles they're adding to the run game. But yeah, I expect him to be the starter, be the guy there, Mike. He can catch the ball out of the backfield too. And Dexter Williams, getting him late in the draft out of Notre Dame. He's a home run hitter. And they still got Jamal Williams from BYU there as well, to where I go, oh, this is a pretty good cast of characters Green Bay's got at the running back position.
Yeah, look, I keep thinking they should be doing more by way of acquiring better personnel. It seems like it's always a revolving door there, but there's reason for hope, there's reason for optimism, and they still have Aaron Rodgers, so maybe Aaron Jones can get it done. How about this one? Terrelle Pryor, a guy who has fallen off of the radar screen as far as the NFL was concerned, had a workout yesterday with the Jaguars, reportedly will be signing in Jacksonville. A very intriguing guy. He entered the NFL via the supplemental draft in round 3 in 2011 as a quarterback. I think that teams gave up too quickly on Terrelle Pryor as a quarterback, but he made the transition to receiver, had a very solid year with the Browns with no real quarterback help. But then 2017, 2018, major disappointments for Terrelle Pryor. But I think that, Chris, the idea of getting Pryor with a guy like Nick Foles. There's something about that whole, because Terrelle Pryor is very passionate, right? He's a football first kind of a guy. I've interviewed him in the past. I love talking to him. And I think working with a guy like Nick Foles can bring out the best in Terrelle Pryor. I think Foles will trust him. And I think those two together could be a very dangerous combination, assuming Pryor still has some physical tools left. And he should. He's not. It's not like he's 35. He's been around for a while. He hasn't played a lot of football, so he should have tread on the tires. I like this. This is a sneaky good late free agency sign.
Yes, it is, Mike. That's exactly the way to put it. Sneaky good, under the radar guy that, you're going to have to pay very little to. And he does. He's got the potential to be that 800, 1,000-yard type receiver. He's in the perfect spot. You talked about you like Terrelle Pryor, the person. Me too, because he's one of those guys you meet. He's extremely intelligent. There's no nonsense. He just kind of says it how it is, and that's refreshing. And he's going to fit right in down there in Jacksonville with the kind of culture they have. Tom Coughlin, Doug Marrone. It's a no-nonsense, no BS culture there. So they're going to like his attitude and what he brings to the football team. He's tough. Yes, he kind of fell off after that year with the Cleveland Browns. Was a 1,000-yard receiver. You said it. It was a really good year. He goes to Washington and, gets a little money, gets a little case of the drops to where people got on him. And I know he was battling with some injuries there when he was there as well, so it didn't look necessarily great. And, things have kind of gone downhill from that point on. But I think this is the perfect spot to maybe where he can have a little resurgence to his career. And Tom Coughlin has an incredible eye for the wide receiver position. I'm sure he's had his eye on this guy for a while. And let's see if he's got something and maybe he contributes this year.
Pryor spent time last year with the Bills and with the Jets. The Jets working in a new coaching staff, and some accounts of feisty play, some scuffles happening at Jets OTA practice. And look, in theory, I like that, right? It just always makes me nervous because what is it that's causing guys to be feisty? There's a line there that you don't want to cross when you talk about these OTA practices. There's an element of contact that's unavoidable. But if guys are pushing and shoving a little bit too much, that's what causes these fights. And when these fights become public, I remember there was a fight at Seahawks practice several years ago at the end of a mandatory minicamp, and that sparked an investigation that resulted in the Seahawks being dinged. And they've been dinged several times for having too much contact in these off-season practices. So that's always the first thing I think of when I see that guys are fighting, scuffling, tussling at an OTA or a minicamp. It makes me think maybe they're doing too much, because that's what contributes to guys having those conversations that continue in a very spirited way after a play ends.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very natural thought. That's where my brain always goes when I hear those things too. Usually those type of scuffles happen in team periods when guys are maybe blocking a little harder than they should be, or a linebacker hits a receiver going over the middle a little more aggressively than he should, and that starts it. But the one thing I think that jumps out to me with this situation more than anything, where I look at least in this particular case, is new coaches. New coaches are the ones I look at because, hey, these are guys that they're trying to impress their new bosses. I want to impress Greg Williams, a new defensive coordinator. I want to impress Adam Gase and the coaches that are underneath him on the offensive side of the ball. So you go a little bit harder, and you go up to the limits of the whistle because you want to make sure you get things right and give a good first impression. And I think ultimately that's probably what leads to a little more increased tension in these type of situations. In this scenario.
And especially with guys like Greg Williams and Adam Gase, one on defense, one on offense. We saw some of that in Hard Knocks last year, the kind of zeal and borderline craziness that Greg Williams brings to things. And I'm sure some of that's going on. But you just need to worry because all these practices get recorded.
Yep.
The tapes are available on request to the NFLPA, and we've seen teams time and again get themselves in trouble by being a little too spirited in these off-season workouts. All right, Gerald McCoy, not in anyone's off-season workouts because he's not on a team. Released last Monday by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's been to Cleveland. He's been to Baltimore. It was looking promising during his visit to Baltimore, but now he's gone and he's going to visit the Panthers. And Chris, when this kind of thing is happening, it tells me that one thing is holding this up. He's got financial expectations that no one has yet to meet.
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, it seems like the Browns legitimately want him. I mean, it seems like the Ravens legitimately want him. You don't make a guy that's a free agent stay an extra night unless you really want him, because what they're saying there, with reading between the lines in the NFL world is, gosh, we want to keep you here one more day because we think we're close to making a deal and we don't want you to go flirt or meet anybody else and then not ultimately be here. So it does. It looks like McCoy is trying to get a three-way, what do I want to say, negotiation here to where one team is going to outbid for him and maybe give him more money than, he might deserve to get on the open market. Three great spots, though, Mike. I mean, they need to position those three spots, and I think you and I are in agreement that those are three playoff caliber football teams. I want to see him with the Browns, though. I think ultimately, I don't know why, I just want to see him on the Browns. The Browns, if they get Gerald McCoy, would have 4 Pro Bowlers on their defensive line, and as if memory serves me correct, there's only like 4 or 5 defensive lines in the history of the sport that have had 4 Pro Bowlers on the same line at the same time.
Yeah, but is Sheldon Richardson a Pro Bowler now? Is Olivier Vernon a Pro Bowler now?
No, they're not.
But still,
right. Yes.
it's a formidable defense to go with an offense that should be very good. And balance is underrated in the NFL. We get so caught up in statistics and how an offense performs, and sometimes there's a defense that just wows us. The better the defense is, the better the offense will be. The better the offense is, the better the defense will be. And as they beef up that defense, that's only going to help the overall team performance and make the expectations even higher in Cleveland. All right, one last point about a team that has very low expectations, although their first overall pick, Kyler Murray, high expectations because he's drawing comparisons to Patrick Mahomes. Cliff Kingsbury, the coach of the Cardinals, recently addressed the question of whether or not the Cardinals will use shotgun formation exclusively or close to it in 2019, and it sure looks like that's what they're going to do. Chris, from a football standpoint, because Kingsbury said it really doesn't matter, there's no disadvantage from not snapping under center, and the advantage is you don't have to worry about backing out from under center. You don't have to worry about trying to pick up the defense. You're already there. You can already see everything before the snap, after the snap. You're already in position, and maybe that's even more useful for a shorter quarterback. But is there a disadvantage to always going shotgun formation other than the ever-present possibility the ball's going to get snapped over the guy's head?
No, I do think there's disadvantages there. Yeah, I do. I mean, there's a reason that the New England Patriots and Tom Brady get underneath the center and have a fullback and a tailback behind them, and they're coming downhill to run the football. When you're in the shotgun, the running back's first step could not be downhill. It has to be horizontal to first get the ball. And maybe he's in the pistol. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he could be behind him and you give him the ball that way. But I think the two things is here that, jump out to me. What you lose is that downhill aspect of the running game to a degree. The play-action pass game would be the other thing that I worry about, and I think that could be a good tool for Kyler Murray because play-action passes, you can get the quarterback really deep behind the line of scrimmage to where it creates a lot of space to where he'll be able to see a lot more clearly than maybe people would realize. But I'm not shocked. Cliff Kingsbury has shown nothing of ever being a shotgun-type coach. That's where Kyler Murray is, of course, the most comfortable, and you want him to start out at least in a comfortable position, and maybe Cliff Kingsbury's offense grows into that eventually.
Yeah, and play-action passing, and this is one thing I think I heard Ron Jaworski explain it once, and it really resonated for me. That challenge of, because if you're in shotgun, it's like playing a video game.
Yes.
You're there. You see the defense before the snap. You see the defense at the snap. All you have to do is look away for a split second to catch the ball, and sometimes you don't even look away. You see it out of your peripheral vision. When you do play-action, you're looking at the defense, and then you completely turn your back on the defense for the amount of time that it takes to turn, pretend you're handing it off, and then turn back. And a lot of stuff can happen during that period of time that you have turned away from the defense.
Sure.
And you have to reacquaint, you have to recalibrate. It is a very difficult skill for quarterbacks to muster.
But a lot of times it leads to the biggest completions and some of the easiest looks you'll see because of the things you just mentioned. Your spot. Think about what you just said, but if you're the linebacker that's playing the run, right? You're going, oh, wait, the quarterback's turned his back. It really looks like he's going to give the ball to the running back. The running back's coming downhill at a very fast rate. Whoa, I better get in my gap and stop this run. wait, oh, gosh, who's got the ball? Oh, no, the quarterback's got the ball. I got to turn around and run. Oh, man, there goes Julian Edelman over the middle for a 25-yard gain. That's the beauty of play action. It's a great way, to get explosive plays in the NFL and really mess with the second line of defense, the down safety, the middle linebackers. That takes aggressive nature away from those guys on the football field. That's where I think ultimately, I'd hope Cliff Kingsbury does get some underneath the center type of plays for Kyler Murray, because I think he could be very dangerous in that setting.
In a roundabout way, it's the original RPO. Although there is no there is no option.
Right.
You know that you're not going to hand the ball off, but you are selling it even more effectively than they do in the RPO.
Exactly.
And yeah, if your running game is potent, that's the best way to use it. You gash them 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards, 4 yards, 7 yards, and they get to the point where we had enough of this crap. Here we go. We're going to go get this guy, and you're completely out of position for the fake. And it's just like it's a cat and mouse game at that point.
Exactly.
And you lose all that when you're in shotgun all the time. And there's no way to simulate it in shotgun. I guess that's the real point.
I think that's exactly,
you can't get the high end of play action passing. When it's clicking, you can't do that in shotgun.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Mike. And you can get some play action pass, but again, like you said, when you're playing quarterback, it's like a video game. Well, when the quarterback's in shotgun, it's also like a video game for the middle linebacker, so they can see the picture and the quarterback that much more clearly and see, was the ball actually given to the running back and all those things. So again, I know that Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury can make it work, but hey, play action pass, running the ball down the hill, the Saints, the Rams, the New England Patriots, the Eagles, they all do it. They all have effective play action pass games. Just think of that Patriots-Chargers divisional playoff game, right, Mike? The Patriots were just gashing, like you said, against the Chargers, 4 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards. And all of a sudden, Brady keeps the ball, and Julian Edelman's wide open down the middle of the field for a 25-yard gain. That's the beauty of it. But I think the Cardinals will be just fine. And you want to keep your rookie star quarterback comfortable, at least early on in this process.
Who was the all-time best quarterback at pulling off the play-action fake?
Oh, gosh. I mean, Peyton Manning was phenomenal. I'll tell you, Boomer Esiason was an incredible play-action pass quarterback. I'm missing some other ones. Chad Pennington was really good. Steve DeBerg. No doubt. Great call by you, Mike. Without a doubt. Those are guys who really got into the craft of, I'm going to make my run plays look exactly like the play-action pass games, and that can mess with a defense.
Hey, I saw the Chiefs and the Steelers 1989 in Pittsburgh, and DeBerg was the quarterback of the Chiefs. And I can't tell you how many times I was like, where's the ball?
Yeah,
right. I have no idea where the ball is right now. And DeBerg, the master of DeBerg, sneaky great career in the NFL, almost like a Ryan Fitzpatrick. We talk about Fitzpatrick today, just a guy who continues to hang around, and meanwhile racking up big statistics and having a quietly very excellent career. But he was the master of that play-action fake. All right, that's it. And this is where I say have a great Thursday. We'll see you Friday. I've learned from my mistake. I can be taught.
Coachable.
Friday, you got to work. You got 2 Fridays in a row you got to work. I don't know. I'm going to worry about you next week. You may wear down on me. We got to pace you a little bit more.
I agree. I'll take tomorrow off for the sake of that not happening. Don't worry.
And you're getting egged tonight.
Oh, my gosh. Or tomorrow night or never. Gosh, be quiet. I've had enough of you for today. See you tomorrow.
All right. Let's see everybody. Have a great day.